rebuttals. I would first like to advance apology for what I'm gonna say because I'm not really that confident, in contrary to your confidence in me. So, okay. So basically, the gist of the arguments of the opening government, whatever you're told is, the gist of their arguments is, if you increase the punishment of poaching or the crime, then automatically the people will be afraid to commit that crime. Well, if you base that on first world countries or highly developed countries, then automatically they will follow because that's the only thing that they have to consider or to worry about in the first place. But if you put it in the setting of very underdeveloped countries such as what we have cited before, Africa and China or the such, that's not really their highest concern. Their highest concern is to put food on their table, to eat something, just to eat something tonight, not tomorrow, just tonight. So, but basically, sit down later. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, wait, I forgot what I'm trying to say. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is a question of why do the poachers poach in the first place? Kuya Rari has actually tried to raise a POI about that. He said, poachers poach because the reason they poach is because of the people who buys the stuff that they poach. No, that's wrong. Because the reason why the poachers poach is because of money, not because of those people. That's very indirect. Money can be found if you have livelihood. Livelihood that's not very necessarily poaching, which I will discuss later. Next is later. I'm so sorry, later. I promise. Another rebuttal is that they have been saying that because these animals are so little in population, they're so cute, like that, that the government should protect them. However, when you think about it, what is the ultimate responsibility of a government? It's to protect or to care for the people, not for the cute little animals. Not that I hate cute little animals. I like cute little animals, by the way. Now, going on. Yes, before I go on.
Okay.
But I need to always worry about you. I don't
Notice, ladies and gentlemen, that these people won't be scared by the policy. But if you look at it, if you're a really poor person, and when you're the only person who can feed your family, knowing that imprisonment will take you away from your family, and that means no one can feed to your family anymore, would that necessarily mean that you're not gonna get scared of the policy?
That's the question. That's precisely the argument there. Because as I said a while ago, they're not worried about what they're gonna eat tomorrow. What they're worried about is what they're gonna eat tonight. So when you look at it in status quo, the people living in very poor areas like the poor areas here in the Philippines, if you know what I mean. They're not really thinking if they rob a person that they're gonna be incarcerated because of that. What they're thinking is they're gonna have food tonight. That's what they're thinking about. And later. And they also had a proposal about incarcerating the people who buys those poached animals or parts of the animals in that sense. Well, when you think about that in a very simplistic sense, that's like incarcerating people because they like a post. Diba? If I post something libelous about someone and I like that certain post, then I get incarcerated for that. That's a very simplistic logic there. If you get what I'm saying here, obviously you didn't. Further clarifications of our argument is, like I said ago, no one is trying to justify the concept of poaching. We're very opposed to that. However, what we're trying to say is that the weight of poaching an animal is not as heavy or not as heavy as killing a person. Because for one, we are called Homo sapiens for a person, for a reason. We are called Homo sapiens for a reason. Sapiens because we think we are higher in intellectual capacity. Therefore, we can think more and we can do more and we have more potential than what the epitome or the epoch of those endangered animals can do. Next. Because I'm trying to simplify this for people like me here. Hi. If you weed your garden, if you weed a garden,
diba? Or if you pull out a grass, you make guna-guna there, diba? You don't just get the leaves or the body of that weed. You get the whole root, the body, the leaves, or what have you. You get it all. That's the concept here. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, if you incarcerate a single poacher, if you're a poacher, Kuya Rari, and she's the customer, your customer, if I incarcerate you, will all the poachers out there, if you're also a poacher, Kuya Carl, will you stop poaching if all the other poachers there, will they stop poaching if one gets caught? Let's remember that others are already caught now in status quo, and they're not being necessarily stopping the poaching thing. Wait ha.
That's why we also included in our policy that people who actually buy these particular endangered species should also be incarcerated because that they are the source of the money that these particular poachers get.
What I'm trying to say is, even if we incarcerate the customers of these poachers, if we are all customers and poachers here, if we incarcerate each and every one of us, then what we're trying to do is just putting more people in prison, ladies and gentlemen. We're not really forwarding the main concept of poaching, ladies and gentlemen, which is preservation, diba? If I incarcerate a single poacher, it will not give a very it will not give a really big impact on the other poachers. That's what I'm trying to think. So the solution there, the only thing that is logical to do is find the root of the weed that I'm trying to make guna-guna in my garden, which is like what for example, poverty in the poachers, ladies and gentlemen. If you give them another source of livelihood that's very opposite from poaching, then they'll stop poaching.